In 1987, a Japanese dive instructor exploring the waters off Yonaguni Island stumbled upon something impossible. A massive underwater structure with perfectly flat terraces, 90-degree angles, precise steps, and what appear to be carved pathways, all sitting 80 feet below the ocean surface. This stone formation is the size of 2 football fields, rising 75 feet from the seafloor, featuring geometric shapes that look like they were designed by an architect rather than shaped by nature. If this is a man-made monument, it would have been built when the area was above sea level, which means it's at least 10,000 years old, predating the Egyptian pyramids by 6,000 years and completely rewriting our understanding of prehistoric civilization. But here's the controversy. Half the scientific community insists it's an ancient lost structure proving advanced prehistoric culture, while the other half claims it's purely natural rock formation that happens to look architectural. This is a Yonaguni Monument, and it's one of archaeology's most heated debates, because accepting it as man-made means accepting that sophisticated civilization existed when we thought humans were still living in caves. Yonaguni Island is the westernmost inhabited island of Japan, located about 70 miles from Taiwan in the East China Sea. It's a small, quiet place known for diving, particularly for encounters with large schools of hammerhead sharks. The waters around the island are crystal clear but challenging, with strong currents that require experienced divers. It was in these waters that Kahachiro Aratake, a local dive tour operator, made his discovery while searching for new dive sites to show tourists hammerhead sharks. What Aratake found was completely unexpected. Swimming along the southern coast of the island at a depth of about 80 feet, he encountered what appeared to be a massive stone platform with clear edges and flat surfaces. Following the structure, he discovered terraces stacked like steps, straight walls meeting at precise angles, and what looked like a pathway or road running along one side. The formation was enormous, stretching over 300 feet in length and rising 75 feet from the seafloor to within about 15 feet of the surface. Aratake brought other divers to confirm what he'd found, and soon word spread to the Japanese media and academic community. The site became known as the Yonaguni Monument or Yonaguni Submarine Ruins, though that second name assumes what's still being debated, whether these are actually ruins or natural formations. Over the following years, more features were discovered in the area, including what some interpret as additional structures, stone implements, and carved symbols. The argument that Yonaguni is man-made centers on several observations. The structure features numerous 90-degree angles where surfaces meet, something relatively rare in natural geology. There are flat horizontal terraces stacked in parallel, creating a stepped pyramid appearance. Certain features resemble architectural elements, what looks like a wide road or platform, possible post holes that might have supported wooden structures, apparent tool marks on some surfaces, and shapes that some interpret as carved animals or symbols. The most striking feature is what researchers call the turtle, a stone formation that, from certain angles, resembles a massive carved turtle or tortoise. There are also what appear to be megalithic stones arranged in ways that suggest intentional placement rather than random geological processes. Some sections show what look like quarry marks, areas where stone blocks may have been cut and removed, similar to ancient quarry sites found on land. Dr. Masaaki Kimura, a marine geologist from the University of the Ryukyus in Okinawa, has been the primary advocate for the man-made interpretation. Kimura has spent over 15 years diving and studying the monument, measuring features, documenting structures, and creating detailed maps. He argues that the precision of the angles, the symmetry of the terraces, and the presence of what he identifies as tool marks and carved symbols indicate human construction. Kimura proposes that the monument was built during the last ice age when sea levels were much lower and Yonaguni was connected to the Asian mainland around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. As the ice age ended and glaciers melted, sea levels rose approximately 400 feet, submerging the structure. If correct, this would make Yonaguni one of the oldest architectural structures on Earth, predating Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, previously considered the world's oldest known temple complex. The implications are staggering. Mainstream archaeology holds that 10,000 years ago, human societies were primarily hunter-gatherers just beginning to experiment with agriculture. The idea of a civilization capable of quarrying stone, creating architectural plans, and building monumental structures doesn't fit the conventional timeline. If Yonaguni is proven man-made, it would require substantial revision of our understanding of prehistoric human capability and social organization. However, the scientific mainstream, particularly geologists, strongly disputes the man-made interpretation. The leading skeptic is Professor Robert Schoch, a geologist from Boston University, who is actually open-minded about alternative historical theories. He's famous for proposing that the Great Sphinx of Egypt is much older than conventionally dated. But when Schoch dove at Yonaguni and examined the formations firsthand, he concluded they were natural. Schoch's argument centers on the geology of the area. The rock at Yonaguni is sandstone, a sedimentary rock that forms in horizontal layers. As these layers are subjected to geological stress over millions of years, they develop fractures and joints, often at perpendicular angles. This can create natural formations with surprisingly regular geometric shapes, including flat platforms, vertical walls, and sharp angles. Schoch points out that the entire area around Yonaguni shows similar formations, both underwater and on the island itself, all clearly natural. The stepped appearance, Schoch explains, results from differential erosion. Softer layers of sandstone erode faster than harder layers, creating terraces. Wave action, particularly during periods when sea levels were different, can enhance this effect, creating very flat horizontal surfaces where harder rock layers are exposed. The features Kimura identifies as roads or pathways might simply be natural bedding planes where layers of rock meet. Crucially, Schoch notes the absence of certain features you'd expect in man-made construction. There are no signs of building blocks being assembled. The entire structure is carved from bedrock. There are no tool marks that definitively indicate human work. What Kimura interprets as chisel marks could be natural fractures. There are no unambiguous carvings, inscriptions, or decorative elements. And most tellingly, there are no artifacts. No pottery shards, no tools, no remains of the people who would have built such a structure. The dating question adds another layer to the debate. If Yonaguni was above water, it would have been during the last ice age, which ended roughly 12,000 years ago. However, there's debate about exactly when the area was submerged. Some geological models suggest it could have been underwater much earlier, or that sea level changes in the region were complex, with periods of exposure and submersion. Without artifacts or organic material to radiocarbon date, establishing when the structure was supposedly built is nearly impossible. Geological dating can tell us when the rock itself formed millions of years ago, but not when it might have been shaped by humans. This lack of definitive dating evidence leaves the controversy unresolved. One intriguing aspect is the apparent similarity to other step pyramid structures around the world. Supporters of the man-made theory point to resemblances with ziggurats in Mesopotamia, pyramids in Mesoamerica, and other step monuments. If cultures separated by vast distances and time periods independently develop similar architectural forms, perhaps this represents a very ancient shared tradition or common approach to monumental construction. Local Yonaguni legends add an interesting cultural dimension. Some elderly residents speak of ancient stories about a palace or castle beneath the waves, though whether these legends predate the discovery or were influenced by it is unclear. Japan has rich mythology about underwater kingdoms and dragon palaces, but connecting these stories directly to the monument is speculative. The debate has become somewhat polarized and emotional. Kimura and supporters feel the scientific establishment dismisses evidence too quickly, reluctant to challenge conventional historical timelines. Skeptics feel that advocates are seeing patterns and purpose where none exist, driven by desire for sensational discovery rather than objective analysis. This polarization makes rational discussion difficult. What's undeniable is that Yonaguni is visually striking. Even if entirely natural, it's an impressive geological formation worth studying and preserving. Thousands of divers visit annually, contributing to the local economy. The site has been featured in numerous documentaries, books, and television programs, keeping the debate alive in popular consciousness, if not academic journals. Recent technology has allowed more detailed study. High-resolution sonar mapping, underwater photogrammetry, creating 3D models, and advanced geological analysis techniques provide data that wasn't available in the early years of discovery. However, results from these studies haven't definitively resolved the debate. Supporters find features supporting human construction. Skeptics see natural geology. One interesting development is the discovery of additional underwater formations in the region. Some researchers claim to have found what appear to be stone tools, carved stones, and even possible evidence of walls or foundations at other sites around the Ryukyu Islands. If confirmed, these finds would support the idea of prehistoric coastal civilization in the region. However, these claims remain controversial and unverified by mainstream archaeology. The strongest argument against Yonaguni being man-made might be the absence of other evidence. If a civilization capable of building monumental stone structures existed in this region 10,000 years ago, where are the other traces? Where are the settlements, the tools, the pottery, the garbage dumps that accompany all human habitation? Archaeological sites leave abundant evidence. The complete absence of supporting artifacts around Yonaguni is suspicious if we're claiming a major construction project occurred there. Conversely, the strongest argument for human involvement is the cumulative effect of the features. Yes, any single element, a right angle, a flat terrace, a symmetrical shape, can be explained by natural geology. But when you have dozens of these features concentrated in one location, arranged in ways that create an overall architectural impression, the coincidence becomes harder to accept. At what point does natural formation that looks architectural become probably architecture? Some researchers propose a middle ground. Perhaps Yonaguni is fundamentally natural but was modified by humans. Ancient people might have found a naturally occurring formation with useful features and enhanced it through carving, shaping, or adding elements. This would explain both the geological characteristics that indicate natural formation and the seemingly architectural features that suggest human involvement. This compromise theory has some precedent. Many ancient sacred sites incorporate natural features modified by human work. Caves with added carvings, natural rock formations that were shaped and enhanced, cliffs that were carved into temples. Göbekli Tepe itself features both carved pillars and natural bedrock integrated into the structures. Perhaps Yonaguni represents a very early example of this practice. The debate also touches on broader questions about human prehistory. We know remarkably little about the period before writing was invented. Archaeological evidence is fragmentary, particularly for coastal areas where rising sea levels have submerged vast territories. During the Ice Age, sea levels were hundreds of feet lower, and prime real estate was coastal land that's now underwater. If sophisticated cultures existed in these submerged areas, we'd have limited evidence for them. Recent discoveries are pushing back the dates for human accomplishment. Göbekli Tepe proved that monumental stone architecture existed 9,000 years before the pyramids. Advanced astronomical knowledge appears in European megalithic sites dating back 5,000 years. Sophisticated cave paintings are 30,000 years old. Each discovery suggests our ancestors were more capable, more organized, and more intellectually sophisticated than previously assumed. In this context, Yonaguni represents a test case. Are we willing to consider evidence that challenges comfortable assumptions about prehistory? Or do we require extraordinary proof before accepting extraordinary claims? The answer likely depends on your perspective on how science should operate and how conservative we should be when interpreting ambiguous evidence. What makes Yonaguni particularly frustrating for researchers is that the key evidence is underwater, requiring specialized equipment and skills to study. Unlike land-based archaeological sites where extensive excavation can reveal layers of occupation and abundant artifacts, underwater sites are harder to investigate thoroughly. The strong currents at Yonaguni limit dive time, visibility can be poor, and the cost of underwater research is substantial. Standing on the shore of Yonaguni Island today, looking out the ocean where the monument lies hidden beneath the waves, you're confronted with mystery that might never be fully solved. Beneath those waters lies either a spectacular natural formation that coincidentally resembles architecture, or evidence of a prehistoric civilization that has been lost to rising seas and forgotten by history. Without definitive proof, a clear inscription, unambiguous tool marks, or abundant artifacts, the debate will likely continue. Perhaps that's appropriate. Not every mystery needs immediate resolution. Yonaguni serves as a reminder of how much we don't know about our past, how much evidence might be lost beneath the oceans, and how our understanding of prehistory continues to evolve with new discoveries. Whether nature or humans created the monument, it stands as a testament to the power of both geological forces and human curiosity, drawing researchers and divers from around the world to witness something extraordinary and decide for themselves what they're seeing. The Yonaguni Monument, whether ancient ruins or natural wonder, challenges us to question our assumptions, examine evidence carefully, and remain open to possibilities while maintaining scientific rigor. In an age where we think we know everything, it's humbling to find something that defies easy explanation, something that keeps us wondering, debating, and diving deeper to uncover the truth.